Hello everyone, welcome back to our next episode with the Nurturing Corner with Shumee. Today we will be discussing a very sensitive topic, good touch and bad touch. As our children are growing and they're interacting with everyone around them, so there's a lot of interaction happening, but then we have to also educate our kids about good touch, bad touch, what is the safe environment that they can create for themselves. How do we start talking about it? And basically, as I think as parents, one important question is when is the right time to start talking about it? So, what do you think about that?
Stranger comes and wants to carry the child and the child says no, we need to respect that. Because what happens is the child knows what is comfortable touch and what is not comfortable touch. Basically, what is bad touch? Something that's not comfortable for the child. We need not tell the child later. First, we disconnect the child from this and tell the child that your no is not a no, I'm going to tell you. And then we want to teach the child what is comfortable and not comfortable. We don't even need to get there. So if the child is not comfortable and says no, it can be a grandparent even. If it is a no from the child, it is no. Once the child gets comfortable with the person and wants to hug the person or get physically close to the person, then the child will do it himself or herself. We should not be telling, because in India it's a culture where anyone comes and carries the child and goes away.
It's a way of showing affection that you hug the child.
And we force the child to do that. I think that should be stopped.
It's very interesting that you brought up like grandparents hugging the child, because we at often in like in India, like especially in our culture, hugging is a very important part of showing affection. The child may not be so comfortable. Like for example, I remember my younger one till now, till a very long, like he's now 13, but till like almost when he's 11, he was not comfortable with hugs. But then it was very awkward for the family to know why is he not comfortable. It's just me hugging you, like kind of thing. So then, how do you even while you're empowering the child, you also need to create a like a system in the family for family members to understand that what a no means or whether the child is not comfortable, and for them to also.
I think the first step is for us to be comfortable to say no to other family members and to us to know that this is the most important thing for us to teach our child, right? That his body is his right. And if we are clear, yes, it will cause tension, but once our family members see why we are doing this, if we can explain it to them, because the world has changed a lot. It is not what it used to be, or at least maybe things were not known before and things are known now, and everyone understands this. So if we can have a conversation with them, it will help. And for us to stick to it, that if the child says no, immediately stopping whoever it is, I'm sorry, but this is how I'm bringing up my child, so you cannot touch my child unless he or she is okay with it. I think we should be very sure of it.
Yeah, true. But I think again, I would say in Indian culture, it's a very, very difficult situation to navigate at home itself, like especially when it comes to the affection kind of thing. But also, like how do we also? I mean, maybe the child, while we empower the child should also be comfortable talking to us if there is something which has happened which he or she was not comfortable. So how do we facilitate that with the child? Because there should be some open communication that can the child feels comfortable having and discussing this. So.
So this is what I did with my child growing up, that every day I would just have a discussion of what happened in school or what happened in the play, wherever I wasn't there. What happened? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? When you start having a conversation, the child will open up to you about what was not nice. And when the child opens to you about what he or she didn't like, to acknowledge it, because many times we dismiss it, and many times they kind of misinterpret things, and they start thinking about things that are not age appropriate for them. It's not something they understand even. Also, coming to like touching private parts and all that, initially the child, I mean the parents do it always, that's what the child is used to. And after a certain age, after 3 or 4, the child automatically developmentally, because they see it around in the culture also that we cover and we do not show, it is something that they start understanding how they feel about it, and they will not be comfortable with anyone touching or seeing them. I mean, you see that a 4 or 5 year old, they'll start wanting to go into the room and change. They don't want to change in front of others. And to not again force them, say, it's okay, it's just your grandparents, you can change in front of them. It's just your friend. not. So I mean, start when they start doing that, to acknowledge that also and give them that privacy is important.
So respecting what they are saying
Yes.
and how they are feeling is a
Yes.
very important part of making them understand. Yeah, that's very because again, like there's always this question in parents' head: how do we talk to them about private parts? What do we
Yes.
give? Because that is, but yeah, I think what you are trying to say is that they themselves start understanding,
Yes.
and so there's you. Are you suggesting that it's not necessary to have that conversation, or like?
Yes, I generally feel it's not necessary to have a conversation if you have empowered the child from birth. Because most of the time we don't, and that becomes a necessity in schools because you have to at some point tell the child.
So, but then also, when does this feeling of consent start for the child? Because obviously,
Yes.
I mean, when they are able to communicate a little bit
Yes.
better, so is that at that point will they'll be able to, or even as a 1 year old, 2 year old, are they able to express this for themselves?
As a 1 year old, I think the only thing they're going to do is run away or cry
Okay.
or go to the mother or father, whoever, and hug them.
Okay.
And that is their way of communicating, because crying is a very powerful way of communicating that they are not happy with what's happening.
So the parent needs
Right?
to be
Parent
tuned
needs to,
in.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So okay.
Because until they go to school,
Yeah.
one or the other adult is always with the child.
Yeah.
So this adult needs to be aware of this. We are not really leaving the child
Yeah.
until that age, right?
Yeah. True.
And once they start going to school, they at least know the word no.
Yeah.
Right? So
And also, when they start going to school, is their first external exposure that they have, and at that point, sometimes kids are going in the early years, also like at a 2 year age. So at that point, they're also learning different things, like maybe something like toilet training. So there, they need help of adults. They're available in the school. So again, how do they know that something is happening? Again, there's a stranger involved in doing helping you with something which you might want some privacy in, but then you have to also be okay with that. So there is a conflict happening for the child internally, but then how does the child respond to that, and or how can we help the child to understand some things are okay, it's okay to have that help?
So yeah, I really feel that initially for the few days, parents really have to step into the school environment. That is my strong take on it.
Okay.
I feel it is wrong to just leave a child into an unknown environment and
Yeah.
just walk away.
Hmm.
The child needs to know that the parent knows about what's happening and trusts the adults that are in the school environment.
Okay.
And to tell the adult what is the process you follow for toileting at home.
Okay.
How do you clean? All these knowledge transfer, as we call it in corporate language, the knowledge transfer is very important, because the teacher also needs to do it the same way for the child to feel comfortable.
Okay.
And for the parent to be around the first few times, so that the child knows that the parent's watching and what the teacher is doing, the parent is comfortable with. And that's when the child becomes comfortable with the same things.
Thank you, Indola, for this amazing discussion today. Today, it was really enlightening for all of us to understand how we can empower our little ones to express what they feel when anyone around them is expressing anything or touching them. And I learned a lot from this session, and I hope all of you did too. Thank you for tuning in, and we love to hear from you. Please do write into us, let us know what you would like to hear next from us. And until then, bye.